Hello everybody, my name is Smita.
Hi everybody, Ashwini here from Tashi Friends.
We both welcome you to our new series, It Is Possible. And you all know that we have started this series to mark the International Women's Day on the 8th of March. So we all know that we all believe that behind every successful woman is herself and her dreams. So today we are meeting one such woman who has achieved a lot, great heights in her professional life. Let's meet Mrs. Sivakami Ravichandran. We also call her fondly as Shibi. So Shibi is a lawyer by profession and a very dear friend. Shibi comes from a very cosmopolitan family. Basically, it's a family of a lot of politicians and entrepreneurs. And Shibi is also married to one entrepreneur and is a mom to a lovely young girl. So Shibi, welcome to our
Welcome Shibi.
Thank you so much, ladies, and thank you so much for having me. Happy Women's Day in advance, folks.
Thank you. And before we get started with some interesting questions we have for you, we'd like to hear a bit from you about yourself.
Once you get me started, you can't stop me. So I'm going to show you about that. But once again, hi everyone. Thanks for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here today. It's such a pleasure to be a part of such initiatives where we get together with other professional, empowered women, if you will, and talk about myself, my favorite topic. No, just jokes aside. Jokes aside. I mean, we're doing this to mark the occasion of International Women's Day, which is the 8th of March, which also happens to be my only daughter's birthday.
That's great. That's
Yeah. And a normal delivery, not planned, anything like that. Normal, but in any case. But I think this is a conversation which we have to, take forward every day, in all facets of our lives. And it shouldn't preclude, it should be an inclusive conversation. And it must be one that must be taken forward by everybody, not just women, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
So tell us more about your profession.
I know you're a lawyer.
Yeah.
There's more to that.
There's
more to that.
Okay, alright. So I am a lawyer by qualification, and I say happily by vocation as well. So I come from a family of lawyers on my mom's side. My great-grandfather was the first PhD from Tamil Nadu, from Oxbridge. My grandfather was a very famous lawyer. My uncle was a lawyer, my aunt's a lawyer, so we have lots of lawyers in the family. But to be very honest, how I got into what I am doing today, which is a very niche but very, very interesting work on the prevention of sexual harassment and dealing with matrimonial law, is purely by chance. I'm born and raised in Chennai, and both my sister and I attended Church Park or Sacred Heart, which is a very famous school in Chennai. Madam Jayalalitha studied there. Lots of famous alumni, including, just off the top of my head, Jayanti Natarajan, a former union minister, another lawyer, actress Trisha, So a lot of it was a lovely school. They were always very, very encouraging of us, and we were really, a lot of emphasis was placed on us speaking well. So I used to attend a lot of debates, inter-school debates, as a child, as a student, and I also ended up being elected the school pupil leader. So this, sort of inspired me, if you will, to sit for the entrance exams of a lot of national level law schools, and I'm very fortunate that I ended up studying law in Pune at the ILS Law College, followed by my masters at the University of Warwick. And it was then that my interest in what I am doing today was piqued. Because, and I'm going to be absolutely candid with everyone here, So I took a gap year just after I graduated, and I went to work in High Court. Yeah, and to be very honest, my personal perspective is that I found it to be a very very patriarchal place. Okay, I found that people were ever ready to judge you just on the basis of your looks, just on the basis of
That you're a woman.
you're a woman, your sex, your skin color, the manner in which you express yourself, you know. So I'm very comfortable in English. My Tamil isn't as good as my English diction, whatever it is. And I didn't like it, to be very honest. So I wanted to know more, and I wanted to see what we can do to help women work. Okay, and that in a nutshell is why I work in the field of prevention of sexual harassment. It's called POSH, and I am the South India practice head for a boutique law firm called Cohere. Yeah, so that's just a little bit about where I'm from and why I got into this quite a niche space, but something which I'm very passionate about.
It definitely seems like quite an interesting journey for you, right? So, talking about inspiration, you did mention that there are a lot of lawyers and politicians in the family.
Absolutely.
So, who's been your biggest inspiration so far?
So, my dad left us when we were very young, very sadly, and I'm raised I'm raised basically by a single parent, my mum, and she always treated us the same, if not, and if not, how do I put this? How do I put this politely? She always inspired us to believe that we were the best, okay? Without alluding to our sex or gender or who we are or where we were from, she always, raised us to believe that we could do anything we wanted to.
That's so important as a mother. That's like a very important thing.
Very
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, to answer your question very quickly, my mom, who is a member of the BJP and the former chairperson of the National Commission for Women, she is a great inspiration. But I love your question, and I know, it's the answer to it always changes if you ask me. Okay, because 1 year it will be Sheryl Sandberg, 1 year it will be Indra Nooyi, 1 year it will be Leena Nayan. My mom is my constant, definitely. Yeah, definitely. But I would also say that the older I get, I'm going to turn 40 this year, the older I get, at this point, if you ask me, post-COVID, I look at everyone around me. I look at your everyday woman. I look at my housekeeper, without whose help, my life would literally crumble, right? You see empowerment, and we see empowered women every day in different facets, yeah, no matter what they do or where they come from. Women are always, juggling so many things. So if you ask me who or what inspires me, I would say the every woman, yeah, honestly speaking.
I like that answer.
And that's a very important message, what you mentioned about your mother. Believe in yourself. I think that's where a lot of women lack, because they feel maybe they're not good enough.
So self-doubt always remains.
The self-doubt always remains true. So that also brings me to my next question. We presume, or maybe we are even right in presuming, that it's a very male-dominated judiciary system that we have.
Right.
So how difficult was it for you to cope with that?
So as I said before, I found practice in Chennai. So I graduated when I was 22, 23, so this must have been a good 15 years ago. I found court to be a very patriarchal place, but it is changing, and there are a lot of strong role models for young women lawyers. But ultimately, the judiciary, it's very interesting that you asked me this question about the judiciary. Just yesterday I posted on LinkedIn about a justice of the Delhi High Court, Justice Rekha, and she told a practicing lawyer, and it was reported, it got quite a bit of publicity. She told the lawyer who was appearing before her, "Do I look like a sir to you?" Because he kept calling her sir, right? So definitely there is a long way to go, but it is getting a lot better. For example, this hijab row in Karnataka is ongoing, and the Chief Justice of the Karnataka High Court is a woman. Yeah, FYI. So there is representation, but definitely, I mean, I want to see a space. I want us to come to a space where we don't need reservation, right, of any sort. Yeah, especially when it comes to gender or sex, because we are 45 to 50% of the population, right? If you look at the current DMK government, if you look at the ministers, I think there's one lady in the cabinet. Yeah, so we have to work towards representation. I hope that answers your question.
It does, it does. It does.
Okay, so I'd like to ask, if not for being a lawyer, what would you have been? What was your
You've always been one since
Yeah.
the time you finished your graduation.
Right.
Well, I love to read. I love, I'm in love with the English language. If I didn't study law, I would have probably have,
An author?
studied. Yeah, exactly. I would have probably,
Literature, author.
I would have probably become a writer, or probably have, end up being the head of the English literature department in WCC or something like that. Because I honestly love to read, and I love poetry. So if I didn't study law, I'd have probably studied
One
English
more
literature.
know about Shibi.
I know, true.
Poetry.
But I'm sure your contribution as a lawyer is much more than what your contribution as an author would have been. Would
Do you think so? No. Either which way, my focus is on corrupting young women. Yeah. So either which way, I would have gotten to it.
Now that you mentioned about young women, what is your idea of independence for women?
In two words, economic empowerment. Yeah.
Okay.
Once again, the older I get, I feel we keep going back to the drawing board, and I feel that if women are able to make their own money, however they wish to do so, whether you're working from home, whether you're running your own business, whether you're going to office, whatever it is, no judgment, I feel that this automatically gives them a lot of autonomy over their life,
It's also
And
a
that's
confident feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to
Absolutely.
have your
Own money, absolutely.
Money definitely does give a lot of confidence. True. Totally agree with that.
So my husband, poor fellow, says, sometimes remember that I'm here. Literally, because I'm very, very fortunate. I have a wonderful partner, very encouraging, very supportive, and he is such a wonderful dad to our daughter. But honestly, at this point, I just feel it is about the money. And once we get to a better place, I feel we can look at other things. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense. It's just my perspective.
Okay. One last lighter question I'd like to ask. What is your stress buster?
My stress buster is, honestly, right now, I'm sure Tashi Threads would know, online shopping. No, honestly, it's such a pleasure to be here, invited by the both of them, because I'm also very particular about how I present myself and how I'm dressed, and I'm a great advocate of local textiles. So during lockdown we were all cooped up at home. So in between crying over my dirty dishes and the lost and not being able to go out, happily log on to online shopping. But no, jokes aside, I'm a big shopper. Anyone who knows me well will vouch for that. Yeah, my husband says, even if you hide your shopping bags, I do see them tucked under the bed sometimes. You realize that. Yeah, so online shopping, I love reading, I love watching movies. I'm also a great supporter of animal welfare rights. I try to do what I can. So in addition to being Lasya's mom, I'm also Abby's mom. We have a cute little Indian dog whom we rescue. Yeah, so that's
always
that.
helps.
Yeah.
Shopping definitely.
Yes,
helps.
retail therapy of some sort.
Both of us can't deny that.
And as you see, we love sarees. And what's your take on sarees?
Oh, I love sarees. I wish that So right now in my head, saris are reserved for a special occasion or a special place. But Instagram and
And yeah, that's something that we want to bring.
absolutely, absolutely. So much is going on right now, and a lot of influencers and people like yourselves on Instagram are trying to promote saris for everyday wear. So that's where I'm working towards.
That's good.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I love saris. I think there's nothing more elegant than a sari. Any special occasion, any festival, any occasion, even if it's an award show or something, I end up, wearing a sari with my big photo.
That's a statement.
So,
We love it.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you
And
so
here
much.
we'd like to give you a small memento
Mm.
for having this, this small episode with us.
I will not say no. Thank you.
I know, I asked for blessing as well. So,
That's just a small gift from both
So,
of us.
so kind of you. Thank you so much. Can I open it now?
Of course, please.
Let us know if you like it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Absolutely lovely. Is it Chanderi?
We are playing that
Yes,
scene.
we know your
Absolutely
love for
lovely.
Chanderi.
Block printed Chanderi.
That's so thoughtful. Thank you so much. I'm so delighted. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you everybody for watching this video, and we'll be back with another video soon. Thank you all.
Thank you once again.
Thank you, Shibi.